my name is Laura. I'm from Helsinki, Finland. I'm a head coach at Crest. BJJ and grappling, part of that gym. And it's nice to see so many of you here today. Who has seen a leg drag pass before? Raise your hand. I don't believe the ones who has even tried that in training, maybe? Good. Most of you should have your hands raised because this is intermediate class. And we are not really focusing that much on we are also focusing on the position, but I'm giving you a broader idea of how to get there. That's the hardest part of the pass. And then we are troubleshooting in the end and trying to to be one step ahead of our training partner. This is heavily inspired, and I did leg drags for a long time, but then I got into learning it from Levi Jones Leary and Lachlan Giles instructional. That's awesome. Just if you like this, go through that as well. Okay, then we start. Maria is gonna be my booker today. So first, this is not gonna work if you have a bad book. So Maria is here, you're supposed to be in an open guard. So you have a balled up posture. You are ready when I start, because we are working on outside guard passing. So you have a balled up posture. You want to keep me away from this area. So you want to protect your knee and elbow space here. So I start going around and you recover. Because this is secondary pass. So what I'm looking forward, if I want to pass with the leg drag, I want her body or her knees to be folded on the other side and my body to be on the other side. So that gives me entry to your leg drag. Okay? This looked great. I like the way that you are immediately just doing your kind of passing and then looking for leg drag. So keep on doing that. And we can go a bit further about the technique wise. So, for instance, if I do the Toriando and I go for the leg drag, now a few things that I want to be thinking about. So when I pass, usually, you first want to beat the line of the ankle or the feet or foot. And then usually you think about beating the knee line. Now, Maria is so flexible that if I just go here and immediately start thinking about the knee line, this will happen. And I have to start all over again. And then again, I go for the knee line, but still Maria usually can start recovering because her hip is so free. So what do we want to do to prevent the high pummel, which is this kind of motion that comes from here, and then she can push me away. So I go Toriando, and now first I'm already past the ankle line. I'm stepping very far towards her. I want this knee to be up, high up. And then I want to start thinking about stacking her. In a gi, I can even think about lifting her hip a bit. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Used to.
Yeah. In no gi, this is a bit harder, so you have to really think about going further and further and further and driving forward with the other leg. And this is constantly what you need to do. This is not oh, now I'm here and I can stop doing this. This is constantly, because she wants to come out of it, I constantly
have to be winning this fight. Okay. And now, since we're here, she can frame with the arms. What do I do with that? If I lean towards the frames, there's space for recovering the legs. So every time she starts framing, I have to think about not leaning towards them. So now they're easy to take away. So I'm like low down, but not leaning towards the frames, and now they're easy to take off. Okay. So driving forward motion, kind of stacking like pressure, and then like not leaning towards the frames and clearing them out. I want to keep my elbows in, and how to remember that? I want to have my palms up. If I have my palms up, I always have my elbows in. And that's also an easy way to get rid of the frames. So I go here, I have my palms up, I drive towards her constantly, and now I feel like now I can start thinking about beating the knee line. I like to take this kind of like ingi. You can also grab here, but I do a lot of no-gi. I'm very used to coming here, or you can also grab here to beat the knee line here. Okay. One more thing. So drive forward, palms up, don't lean towards the frames. And it's very, very important that I have my weight constantly on this shoulder. The same shoulder that I'm like driving towards. I have my weight here. Because every time I put my weight here, Maria will have more space. So leaning on this shoulder. Okay. Quite many things. Drive forward, palms up, and clear the frames. And then also having your weights like hovering on top of this shoulder. Okay? 1, 2.
I noticed a few important things that we have to talk about. One is that classically, leg drag is taught to be something like this. So forget this, because kind of forget this. You get into the position, but if like I tried doing this to Maria, this is like super easy to keep and very hard to just drag the leg. So if you have your own pass to start with, go for it. Or if you want to do the classic Toriendo, really drive first inside, not just try to drag, but drive inside like the shins and make their hip face that way, and then come inside here to this space. Also in no-gi, you won't have the grips on the shin, also never on the knee because this is so easy to pummel. So more on the shin and also like hovering here. If you're doing no-gi, just pressure here and really also again hover on top of them. This is not gonna create tension really. This is here. Okay. Second thing, your partner really tries to high pummel now. So she starts lifting, and my task is to prevent that driving towards her. And having my weight here, driving. I can make this stronger with the grips, but I really want you to just have your hip low and drive. Okay? So start with the proper Toriando and then
drive. Yes. Here, I want to have the elbows in, and once I get this control, I can start going low. Now she cannot really create that kind of frames anymore. And once I have my weight still on this shoulder, I can start going towards the side control. Okay, preparatory endo. Drive, drive, drive. She tries to high pummel as hard as she can, and then do good finish with the closing the space and then moving around. Okay? 1, 2. I got a couple of similar kind of questions about how to maintain the position. And the answer is still remember to drive, drive, drive. This is not the position where I can just relax and stay and this is gonna be secured. If I'm back here, she can just push me away. Or maybe has space for pummeling here or something like that. So remember to all the time have your hips low and drive, drive, drive. Sometimes you have to fight against the frames, but still I keep on driving.
And one thing, actually, you're using this hook all the time that I can't, also controlling artillery.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Do that. Yes.
Because I can't move it at all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. Then when I feel like there's space, either she's pushing me, this is sometimes giving me the space to pass, or I have really won the put you can think it as a Tetris piece that you put your elbow in here, leaving no space between her and my arm. And from here, I can pass quite, I can be quite sure that I can pass. In Nogi, I might want to grab something, hold on to something, but that's make it work for your body, okay? Yeah, but we are going forward. Now, we are talking about another kind of answer from her. So if I go here and she feels like she cannot recover, or some people are very good at this, that they start going this kind of Gongora or Granby kind of escape, I need to be aware of it and follow, because there's the stack. Okay, so I do the proper Toriando. She starts moving. So I need to get my weight on top of the leg here and make sure her to can staple her hip on the ground. So I'm gonna even make it stronger, pushing with this knee behind. Let's turn. Here behind the hip. And now I can start moving. Now I can really start getting this to my armpit, winning the space between her arms. Now it's kind of stuck, so I have to maybe do something else, but to win the space underneath the armpit and the hip, and then pass. Okay? I'm passing and she starts moving already. I have to be ready. Step on the knee pit and then make sure that the hip doesn't go to the ground. Now I can start folding her like this and pass. If it happens that she goes quite far, so go here, and she goes all the way, having her head almost on this side. Now I wouldn't force it anyway. This side, I would go for this kind, like on the other side. So if they're already going through, try not to, like, you don't have to force them the other way, just make them, like, stack them on the side that they are turning towards.
Stopping first, just a small detail. If you want to practice this, give your partner space to like invert a bit. Because if we're starting here and now she goes inverting, there's no space for it anymore. So do this well, but then let her invert first. And then you have it, okay? That's all. 1, 2. Sometimes it's hard to know if you're being putting too much pressure on your training partner. Here, practicing this, you kind of have to put some pressure. Just communicate. So here she starts going to Granby. I really need to put some pressure here, because otherwise she's just gonna recover the guard here. So here she starts inverting. I really need to pin this, and also having the hip up here. She's flexible, but she would say, like, if there was something like really pressure in the neck or something. But yeah, we don't hate our training partners, so don't be too tough on them when doing this. But so that we still have time for the last one, we are going forward. So now the very common response with a person who is flexible. So Maria usually, she wants to keep her hip wide. Because when I start going here, she knows I want to cut this corner. So she starts like opening up the hip. And now I would like to have my pressure on this shoulder, but I feel like it's gonna be impossible. It's so open already, the hip, that I'm kind of losing it. And if I try, then it's not gonna end up well. So we're gonna go for the modern twist part of the class. So we go here, she opens the leg. Now I want to dive underneath and go to reach for the back. So what I want to do is that I want to have a good crab hook. So my knee in and my hook out, and really emphasize on the hook, having my toes towards my knees. Because if I'm lazy with this, she's just gonna get a knee bar. So really make sure you have a good hook before you dive. What's happening with this arm? Before we wanted to like really close here, elbows in. Now we want to actually flare, because we want to be as tight to the waist as possible. So I'm going here. I can grab the gi material, or no gi. I just have a good grip on the body. Okay. Now what I want to do is that I start going underneath her head. So I start going here. Then there are a couple of options. I can either just switch the hook and start going on top, or I can look for the back, which is always what we want more, because it's 4 points and competition setting, and it's cooler. It's also an important thing. So we're going here. She's opening the leg. I dive through. I'm gonna look for this hook here, and then getting a good control from the opposite shoulder. Just gable gripping with my hands. And with this grip, I can control her quite well to get the back. Okay? We really need our partner to respond, opening up the hip. Now I feel like, yeah, it's not gonna, I'm not gonna pass anymore. I go underneath. Very good hook before doing that. Chop. I go opposite shoulder, hook in, and then turn on the other side. Okay? Once more? Sure? She opens up. Here, good hook. Opposite shoulder, opposite hook. And here. Okay, watch it! Again, I get asked a lot something, or I see a lot of people struggling with the same thing. I'm gonna explain that to everyone. Okay, we're here. Well, she's like flaring the head. People are asking like why they end up so far. The problem is that you're not diving underneath the hip. So you flare up. What I want to do, I really want to use this hook to kind of have more control, and then when I start going for the forward roll, I want to roll over this shoulder, and then like really think of bringing her hip up a bit and diving underneath, and then like pulling her at the same time to get the good angle. Once more. Where I use this one, and then I really think of diving underneath here. And I actively use my legs and arms to climb up. Okay?
Elbows can really tight. Get the shoulder like that.
Elbows here, very tight. And then you flare as well. What's your face? I don't know. Can you?
No, I can't. It's not because yeah. And usually even when I'm afraid, I usually try to make it with my hand that I can go wider.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I got this response.
Okay. One, two. Time is up, unfortunately. I'm just doing a small recap of what we did. How to get into a leg drag. I want their head to be facing again away from me and be on the other side. Then I step in and really start driving towards her. And then look for the inside space. The most common response, like early on, is that she high bubbles, and that we avoid by really driving a lot. Next response was the Granby roll, so inverting. I want to step on the leg and keep the hip high, and then start pressuring again on the same shoulder and winning the inside space. And the last one, she starts flaring. I get a good angle with my, I can flare my elbow and have a good hook here, and then dive underneath. to get opposite hook, opposite control with her arms, and then turn and do this. Okay, that's it. Hope you have fun practicing that back at your own gyms or open mats. Thank you all for the attention. And if you like, I would love to have a photo after, so let's do that.